Judiciary has remained mum over Chief Justice David Maraga's boycott of the Jamhuri Day celebrations, while Maraga's absence could have been read to be a protest to the executive's earlier decision to cut Judiciary's budget to ostensibly arm twist it. With that issue resolved, the Chief Justice's boycott might signal deepened frosty relations between the two arms of government. And as Sam Ogina reports, is this a mere sibling rivalry or quest for independence?
There is a loud silence from the judiciary over Chief Justice David Maraga's action to skip the 55th Jamhuri Day celebrations. In fact, the judiciary says it will not want to be dragged into the acrimony that has now escalated into unprecedented levels. The judiciary neither indicating whether the CJ was attending to any official duties elsewhere or locked up in a personal matter to skip the feat. Apart from the president of the appeals court, Justice William Ouko, who attended the event, none of the high-ranking judicial officials was present at the event, the CJ leading a judicial boycott of a national event in a protest outcry of what he has termed before as the executive's attempts to twist and use the judiciary as a punching bag.
The last Masuja Day, the CJ was allowed to walk to the dais through a sidewalk. And the MC did not acknowledge his arrival.
Governance experts warning the CJ's move was detrimental rather than salvaging an already dicey and frosty relations between the two arms of government.
The crisis of perception that the judiciary and the executive are not working harmoniously cannot be solved by staying away from each other.
Ironically, one of the sticky issues that has put the judiciary and the executive at loggerheads was budget cuts for the judiciary. But with this resolved, it remains peculiar why the CJ still went ahead to skip the Jamhuri Day celebrations. This begging the question, are there other underlying issues that continue to aggravate the Cold War between the executive and the judiciary?
The judiciary is not interested and does not interfere with the affairs of other arms of government. Why are they interested and interfering with our affairs? You want me to tell you why? They want to control the judiciary. With
Maraga making good his threat of choosing which state functions to attend, it is checkmate as the battle of wits between the executive and the judiciary gets underway. With both institutions critical for the country's running of its affairs, the flexing of muscles and shadow boxing are only to the detriment of the nation.
The political wing of government, especially the executive, seems to have scored a point and the judiciary seems to have lost a point. So if it remains unexplained, then is it possible that the Chief Justice stayed away for the nuisance value just because he can? And if that is the perception Kenyans are having, it will deepen the crisis in the judiciary because the judiciary needs the support of the executive, just like the executive needs the support of the judiciary. But more importantly, the judiciary requires public support.
Whether Maraga is in the country or not is anyone's guess, as his whereabouts has been kept a closely guarded affair. Sam Ogina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.